Talks are different during the day, Mom.
Yes.
Have a cup of coffee.
That's a good idea.
I didn't drink any coffee yesterday. I took a day off.
That's good.
I can't do caffeine too much. As I drank a fully loaded caffeinated cup. Because usually I'll mix it half and half. Like I'll put some Folgers decaf because I'll just drink that by itself. I just like the flavor. I don't need the stimulation. I'm plenty stimulated all of them by myself. I was talking to my friend this morning and I was telling, she's like, she needs time to wake up. I hit the ground running. I annoy people like her that need time to wake up.
That kind of energy.
Because I'm like, all right, my eyes are open. Let's do this. It's because all your training when we were growing up and when you'd wake us up in the middle of the night and tell us to grab our most prized possession so we'd have about 5 minutes to figure out what those things were. But it'd take me about 2 minutes just to come back in my body to accept what the reality of what was going on right then, and then we bugged out. I thought everybody lived like that. You know it?
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Thanks,
Very
Mom.
Nice. What color
I just don't like the lighting during the day is all.
It's hard on your eyes.
Yeah, my eyes are pretty sensitive. I could put these sunglasses on.
That's a good idea. That will lighten it.
It's not that bright. No, that's not. I can't do that. I borrowed Mom's necklace. It's a Thunderbird.
That looks good. The color.
Can't recognize yourself as a Aoko without representing the Thunderbird.
That is striking. The whole
Mom picked out the tie today.
That is striking.
All right. Where's my phone? I need to turn down the music. It's blur. I could turn it down on my headset. I just want to be able to change the songs too. Right where I left it.
Good.
All right.
Yep. Oh, you look nice.
Mommy said that every time you see me. That's so funny.
Yeah.
She forgets me. All right, let's do this. Hello. Welcome to my tube. My name is Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. And well, it's only 11:04. What are we? Mountain time? I hate time zones, man. I can't keep track. I've been in so many different time zone, and like being in a different time zone in Europe. I'm like, I was never wholly present in what I was doing because I was always thinking about what people were doing 11 hours away from me, and if I was there, what I'd be doing. That's what they have you do, is not be in the present moment. That's like the biggest thing. If we take away their present moment, then all these people will not be graciously accepting their gifts of life.
That's true.
And that's what the devil would have them do. So, I was divinely inspired already today. I was listening to an interview that what's her name? Pam Gregory.
That's an interesting name.
And she, not Pamela, Pam Gregory. And she was talking about how if people have degrees in 3 degrees, with Pisces specifically, but like perhaps you have the calling to be a teacher. And I was like, hey, that rings a bell. You want over here, Tuck?
Good boy.
Come on, Bubba. Come over here, Bubba. Go ahead. Want to go past brother, or you want up on the couch? Up on the couch. Okay. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Mom, help, bud. Good boy. Come on, good boy. Go ahead. What was I talking about? What was I talking about? I lost my train of thought, just derailed.
I just started to say it, and I don't even know. I know that it's.
Okay, I was talking about this morning being divinely guided
That's it.
and having this conversation. All right, I'll just go with it. Okay, it starts actually yesterday. I was talking to my friend, and we were texting. We weren't talking, but she was expressing her concern about whenever she goes around people that have done certain things, that she begins to feel like she's coming down with something, right? And she didn't do certain things, but she's around people that have done certain things. Oh, that's what I was talking about. I'll finish that thought up, Pam Gregory. Is that, so I looked up in my chart because I thought it rung a bell, and holy hell, sure. I got 3 degrees in Pisces and Venus. And so that's why I'm such a snappy dresser. That explains that. So, all right, back to my friend now. So she was expressing her concern about how she's been around certain, and then she starts getting sick. And then when she spends time in isolation, now a lot of that I consider to be just energetic interference. Like when people are such different energetic frequencies, right? That they create static. Right. So also there's a storyline where the things that people did are causing them to, like dogs do with their coat. So these people, there's the storyline of the belief system that people that have had things done are emitting certain whatever, they're something in them, and it's making other people that haven't had these things sick. And then I heard a conversation by Robert Phoenix this morning.
That's an interesting thing.
And he was talking about how now this is the stuff that I don't get. Like, these people are in astrology. They talk about energy frequent. It's like it's like they get little pieces, but they miss the big parts. Okay? So when you become more into your knowing, you get more information, you get more data dumps on you. You get, you're on the planet long enough, you learn how to decipher between what's true and what's not. And you collectively, communitively get to a point that you really need to be careful where you are putting yourself. I know all these people think, oh, they're so powerful. They're the captains of their own ship. I do what I want. I have all this protection. I'm protect. Blah, blah, blah. Part of that protection should include the sense of not putting yourself in places that could harm your energy and disrupt your field. I'm talking to myself too. I used to love going to concerts and stuff like that. That's not for me. Not until I find my community. Nope. So he was talking about how he goes to a place called Sin City, where people consciously know and aware that this place is a city full of sin. The energetic imprint of that place from history is enough for me to never go there again. With all of the dastardly stuff, because it's way more than good stuff that has ever happened. So based on its energetic imprint, I went there once, had my Sin City experience overnight. I dabbled no, don't like it. Not my timeline, not for me. So I'm out of Sin City. So he goes into Sin City, okay? Then he talks about how he goes into a place where a massage parlor where lots of sin happens.
Wow.
Right? So puts himself, his sensitive ass, I love him. I think he's a great guy. I think he's got so much, I'm just here to teach the teachers, that's all. A little bit of tough love, that's what was given to me, so that's how I know to do. Anyway, Marge, not so Sarge Marge. So then he goes into a place where lots of, people have cheated on theirs. Terrible things happen in massage parlors. Happy endings. It's gross. Anyway, that's an energetic agreement that people have, and it's a low vibrational energetic agreement. I will say. So, then when he's there, he starts having an experience of anxiety and things like that. I don't want to tell his story too much because I can't remember if he talked about it on YouTube. He talked about it more on his channel. Just go sign up. It's real easy to do. That's how I like to start my Tuesday to Thursday mornings. It's cool. I get to see Susie Gemini and other people. I'm starting to like be more comfortable there. Because it's a meeting place, just know, like, it's an energetic collection point, So, and I don't do so good with typing, so I'm not really so eloquent and warmly received in environments like that. So, anyway. And I was thinking, I'm the only one that said anything like this is weird, too. Is because I'm like, maybe because he started, like, having an anxiety attack. Right there, and having all these like peculiar symptoms that weren't familiar to him. And I'll just leave it at that. But he tells his story, and I encourage people to go listen to his tale. I just am using bits and pieces as an example, just as evidence. So, and then he went on to talk about how a friend of his, I'm going to use these terms loosely because I don't want to offend nobody, but a friend of his passed away unexpectedly this weekend, and how the wife had told him that prior to his passing, he was experiencing said symptoms the same as Robert was, right? And he didn't do those things that they encourage people the last 2 years to do. The man himself didn't, although he was a chiropractor and put his hands on people that did it 2 times, 3 times, right? Which my friend yesterday, she was like, am I crazy? Because it feels like every time I'm around certain people that have done certain things, I feel like I said, no, you're not. I said, and plus you believe it. That, you see the evidence. You go into this situation, these people do this, and then, so it's and I look at sickness as a vibration anyway, and purging frequencies that your body is like nature's way of degaussing your hard drive, like clearing your cells and stuff like that. For when people that put so much crap in them, that's why people get sick, is because they put so much crap in themselves, and then their body's like has to degauss it, and then they feel terrible, and then they feel great, and they should just not start the habits that they stop to feel good again and perpetuate that way, but instead they fall back on their old laurels of comfort and whatnot. So yeah. So he supported the evidence in his story based, for a conversation that I had yesterday, and that's how I navigate through life, is looking at things like that. And then also, I didn't finish Joey. Oh, this was a cool thing. I have it right here. I was outside this morning watching doing some morning disciplines that I do, watching this. I say some prayers as the sun comes up. Thank God for another day, and help give me the strength to do the right thing and not, do anything that might bring a curse on myself or anything. But I was sitting there and I was talking to my friend, and I see, like, out of the corner of my eye, something drop from the sky. And I was like, my first thought was, that's weird, and it was right in the yard, because it's windy. And I have a sneaky suspicion, I have an idea what it was. And so I got up, I walked over, because I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't see. And this is what it is. When I find feathers like this, ever as long they're to me, they're the underside of the wing of angels.
Oh, that's neat.
Right?
Yeah, that's
So
neat.
whenever, like when one of these is represented, is because I asked the angels to come and guide me when I remember to, as often as I remember to, and this just came dropping straight down on a windy morning.
Wow.
And then I was like, okay, thanks. Thanks for
Oh.
verifying that. Sometimes I feel alone. A lot of times I feel like I'm by myself. The energy is there to support me, even though it's not like, I'd rather have people in the tangible. You don't always get what you want when you're just learning life lessons. So anyway, I called today's talk. Oh, the other thing, that's what I was talking about. I was listening to Joey the Gypsy this morning. I didn't finish his conversation because I wanted to get, he's a traveling man. I want my purpose and goal, and ultimately the place I'd like to end up for me and Mom is to have a place, and then have a place where travelers can come, like Joey the Gypsy. And I've known travelers my whole life. And if they're of the same heart space that I am, they'll find me and they'll want to come see me, and other people will just stay away. They'll just see, most people see me on my videos and go, nope. Do not recommend. There's not a demographic for me, except for maybe that of curiosity.
That's a good point.
Maybe. Anyway, so he was talking about like what people do to earn self-respect. And he said yesterday he was going to put a video out today talking about this.
Oh, today.
I said, that's easy. I said, that one's easy. That one's a no-brainer. I said, to earn self-respect, all you got to do is 3 words. That's it. That's it. You just have to do 3 words. They're real simple. Do respectable things. That's it. That's the whole secret to having self-respect. All those things that I have seen other people, I would never do that. I wouldn't do that. You know how many of those things I ended up doing? All of them, probably. All of them. Everybody's having, it's so funny. I don't know. Okay. All right. I don't want to get too far off. I'm going to talk about what this whole talk was going to be about. And that is people cake and the recipes of them.
Okay.
I really hope people don't take that in a literal way, my title. I'm not, and there's so many storylines out there these days where people would take that in a very literal way. Now, the way I see things, and I've gotten the data collection, and I see life in pictures. I have my whole entire life. And a lot of circumstances are me trying to explain to people what I see. And it's not me that has the comprehension issues. It's them. Because so many people do not see in pictures. They don't see anything when they close their eyes. That's kind of peculiar to me. Anyway, so these are collections of how I understand it. And given data that might dispute my beliefs, I am willing to take that data into consideration and even change my beliefs. We can. Based on the data given to me. So, let's see if I can explain this. There are constellations in the sky of astrological placements. I always looked at people like a recipe, like a cake. Their soul sack. Right? And they go to the store and they get their, and people consciously pick up their ingredients. To make the kind of cake I want to be, I'm going to pick up this flour. I'm going to pick up this egg. Some are more specific. They're going to look into the quality, They're only going to get eggs that came from happy chickens. Other people don't care. They'll just get the eggs that freaking you open up. There's a bunch of broken ones. They don't care. Maybe they can get a discount. Doesn't matter if they get a bacterial infection. It don't matter nothing. Whatever. And these energies that are in the sky are related to these gods, right? Like the Greek gods. All these different backgrounds. They all have their own version loosely based on a similar history, right? Based on the data they were received. Their belief system, I believe this to be true. No, that ain't right. That's, right? And they find other people to think like that. And then they start having communities that live the way they live. And then you have people that don't like it, so they branch off. And all this is based on ingredients in the sky, so to speak, right? Because people have placements in them that were established at the time they were born. And based on that energetic imprint, they have these potentials, And a lot of times they don't even recognize that it's like they got placements with like Zeus or, like these guys, like these gods that like the storylines where they ate their kids and stuff like that, And then they have these potentials to be really freaking mean to their kids because they have their placements in them because they pick up the ingredient to make their cake that way based on their actions. Because everybody has free will to make that cake however they want. And they're picking up like the best ingredients, And that cake's too rich. And now what we're seeing is a whole lot of people that are choking on the cake of themselves. They're choking on their own cake. So like my cake, I'm a spicy cake. I'm an airy, fluffy. I ain't no angel. I got a little angel cake, but I got a little, we all got our freaking shadows in us, demons, whatever you want to call. It's how much airtime are we going to give them? How much are we going to let those show up in our life and designate, People don't like. I used to think Mike was right. I was 10 months old. I was one of those baby rapes. I was 10 months old. And I was adamant that I didn't want to be like a baby at all, ever. And I saw people and how, like, adults, and they'd whine and they'd snivel, and I'd be like, Mom, they're a baby. They're acting like a baby. They're grown up. They're acting like a baby. I had a speech impediment. People couldn't understand me. I'd get frustrated. I didn't like the fact that people couldn't understand me, and then they'd make fun of me because, oh, look how funny that she talks that way. And then they'd mimic me. People are very hurtful.
They're cruel.
Very cruel. Adults to kids. Because people don't step to me now that way because I'm in my own power. It's been a long time since people have people do it to me in the grocery store. That's where they do it. It's these big men. Oh. They walk right at me. Like they pretend like I am, they don't see me, right? So I do not change my course. They have often bumped off me because I'm small in stature. I'm like running into a brick wall. If I'm on my trajectory and you come in it, you're bouncing off me, bub. Oh, you didn't see me? Maybe next time. Have a rad day. Peace. Because the first part of my life, I yield to the entire planet. I won't do that no more. I will not. And it's so hilarious because, like, I wear bright colors. I go to the grocery store, I got pants, orange is this lighter, you know? So it's like, if you don't see me, it's because you're freaking being ignorant. Maybe you should pay attention a little bit more of your surroundings, you know? Anyway. So I was thinking about that, how people are got like cakes made up of energy based on constellations of where the stars were, the alignment of birth, and then they carry that energy with them in every situation. And then they draw on that, and that's how I usually know how people are going to respond. You know? And if it usually, here's another pro tip. If people keep acting how they've always acted, yet say that the outcome of their behavior is going to be different, they don't know what they're talking about. They're fooling themselves, therefore they're trying to fool you. And I'm going to end up on this. Talk a little bit about timelines and how people need to be careful of creating their reality. I think about my connection. Just of how, and I look at it as a connection for me connecting to one human being. And how many times I've done that in my life. And other people can, go down your own history and think about how many, interactions, boo, boo, boo. And not just interactions that you've had, but like the interactions that you're having and the interactions that the people that you're having interactions with are having. Okay? And it'll clear up in a minute. Let me put it in perspective here. So there's a storyline that's going on right now. And all these people are talking about this storyline. And the way I look at it, everyone that mentions that storyline is putting consciously themselves on a timeline. Okay? So everyone that says it, everyone that hears it, it's like a energetic contract. This storyline's going to happen, and then we're going to get everybody to talk. Okay? So I'll say the Leo Cub, he's talked about this storyline. Now, I'm not degrading people. I'm just using this for an example, okay? So the Leo Cub talked about it. Did like a tarot card reading on it. I heard Marge talk about it. I heard Robert talk about it, and all these people have a big following, so it's them spreading the storyline. Okay? And then based on this storyline, there's derivatives of this storyline, so all these people are getting their own, and the way I look at it, none of that matters. What are people doing out in the world to make something better for somebody else? It's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.